Hello and welcome back to Corner Sports. I'm Albert Asmar, as you probably already know. And today we're going to be talking about some Premier League, some French League, some German League, some Mexican football. We've got everything covered, so without further ado, let's get right into it. This week is a somewhat slow week of football, but we still have great games as we do every single week. And the first game we're going to talk about is Borussia Dortmund taking on Shalke. Borussia Dortmund has not lost to Shalke in the last 5 games, winning 2 and drawing 3 of them. The last 2 going 0-0 and 1-1. Now Borussia Dortmund is 9 points clear of Shalke, but they have only taken 1 point in their last 5 matches, and I know they'll be looking to get back on the horse, especially after losing in Tottenham midweek again. And this team just looks like they've lost the flair that they had in the beginning of the season. Now Borussia Dortmund is scoring goals. They have no problem doing that. They've scored at least 2 goals in the last 5 games, but they have a problem defending, which was not an issue beginning of the season. I think you guys all remember we were talking about how great their defense is, but it hasn't been so far, especially in October and November. And I think they will be looking to get back on their defensive ways. If a team wants to do well in the league, they want to defend, and considering they've done so poorly over a month now, I think this is the game where they turn it around against Shalke. Shalke are really strong on set pieces, so be on the lookout for that. But other than that, I think this game will end 2-1. Side note, this will be Gonzalo Castro's 350th Bundesliga appearance, which is a great feat for him. Only 2 or 3 other Bundesliga active players have achieved this, so I'm looking forward to Borussia Dortmund winning against Shalke this week, but it'll be a tough game, and winning starts with defending well. We're not going to go far, actually. We're going to stay in Borussia, where Borussia Moenchengladbach take on Bayern Munich this week. This game promises to be another great one, considering Borussia Moenchengladbach have quietly had a really great season, sitting 4th right now, and obviously Bayern Munich are 1st. This will be the 50th game between these two sides, which promises to be a special one, and Borussia Moenchengladbach have only won 1 in the last 5, dating back to 2015. Moenchengladbach has been on a fairly decent run, only losing 1 in their last 6 games, and that was a 5-1 defeat to Bayer Leverkusen. But whenever you play Bayern Munich, you are fired up and looking to win the game, and I'm not expecting anything different. However, Joshua Kimmich will play his 50th Bundesliga game this weekend, and it'll be a big one, especially against a side who will be looking to compete against them. Thorgan Hazard has been quietly having himself a really good season, which is part of the reason why this Mönchengladbach team has been doing so well, and he'll probably be looking to force a move in the summer. But as of right now, this team will be looking to qualify for the Champions League, and we all know how well Bayern Munich have been doing, especially after picking up another win against Anderlecht midweek. This team will be looking to go into Borussia Park and pick up another win. I think this game will end in a 1-1 draw. Probably my favorite game of the weekend is Chelsea traveling to Anfield to take on Liverpool, and this game promises to be a cracker, considering these two teams just sit 1 point behind one another, and there's top 4 speculations, and Conte's doing well. Right now, this team has found its stride, whereas Liverpool, who played really well in the league and won their last 3 games in a 3-0 result, went into Sevilla and were up 3-0 at halftime and ended up drawing 3-3, which I'm sure will hit their morale hugely. But you need to consider that this team didn't actually play very well in Sevilla. They just took their chances when they could, and that's something that this team doesn't do very often. I'm sure they're disappointed that they weren't able to win after being up 3-0. However, if you look at the game objectively, they weren't playing well. Sevilla actually played them off the park, and it was a point gained for them. Now, Liverpool is unbeaten in the last 5 games against Chelsea, winning 2, drawing 3, but those 2 wins come at Stamford Bridge, not at Anfield. The last time Chelsea lost at Anfield was in 2012, so this will be a tough game, no doubt about it, and I'm excited to watch it. Now, we all know how awful the Liverpool defense is, and I don't need to harp about it. They can't defend set pieces. They keep making mistakes at the back. The goalkeeper keeps making mistakes, and the midfield was awful, god awful, which it usually is not. Klopp typically has a great midfield, so I think it was a blip, the game against Sevilla. However, this Chelsea team is something special. When Conte back and they've got the rotation of Bakayoko, Fabregas, and they can swat in drink water in there, this team is really good in the middle, and they've got a decent back. And you know what Morata and Hazard can do, especially when Hazard's in form, and he's looking great so far. We all know how well Jurgen Klopp plays against the top 6 sides, and Chelsea is not different. Since he took over in 2015 of October, he's been playing very great against the top 6 sides. And Chelsea should be scared traveling to Anfield. But as I've mentioned, they haven't lost there since 2012, so they'll have some confidence going in. I'm looking for players like Alvaro Morata and Mo Salah and Mane. Mane hasn't been having the best season so far. He's had that suspension. He has been out with injury twice, but I think this is a game where Mane can break out. It's hard for me to pick this game because the entire time I've been thinking that this will probably be a draw. I just have a hard time ever picking against Liverpool. I enjoy their style of play. I enjoy how they play against teams, especially in the Big Six. They come up, they run at you for 90 minutes. I think Liverpool wins this game 2-1, but I could be wrong because Hazard's on form, Morata's scoring for fun. You've got players that want to play for Conte. It could be a 2-2 draw, but it could also be a Liverpool 2-1 win, and I'm looking forward to this game. I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool win. And I'm going to double down on my Mane prediction. I'm going to say he scores a brace. I got to do this quick because if you can hear this, it's about to rain. So the next game we're going to talk about is Valencia versus Barcelona. Second versus first. Valencia and Barcelona both have not lost this entire season, and someone's O has got to go. Now, Valencia has struggled against this Barcelona team, and rightfully so. In the last 20 games Valencia has played against Barcelona, they've only won 2. History is on their side. One was in 2014 and one was in 2016, so they've done this recently, and I think they can do it again, especially at home, especially considering the season they've been having. Now, Valencia is on the best winning streak in La Liga right now, winning 8 straight games, and I know these players are working hard right now because nobody expected Valencia to be sitting pretty in second place, well ahead of Real Madrid, well ahead of Atletico Madrid, well ahead of Sevilla. I mean, this team is playing really well, and I think they'll be looking to pick up that 9th win in a row. The one thing this Valencia team does really well is put shot on targets. 28% of their shots go on target, whereas Barcelona only puts 24% of their shots on target. So you know Ter Stegen is going to have a tough game, and I hope they can put some past him. That this could be Marcelino's first time beating Barcelona, as he hasn't done in his previous 9 meeting against them, drawing 3 and losing 6, and this will be a cracker. Look, number 2 and number 1 is always good. Both teams haven't lost, and I know I always predict Barcelona losing when I make videos personally because I have a bias against them, but you cannot deny the greatness of this team, and I never will. You got Messi, Suarez, who's hitting his stride. You've got their midfield, who's putting it together, and the defense, and Valverde, who's typically always fantastically organized, and Ter Stegen, who's one of the greatest goalkeepers in the game right now. It's hard to always say that they're going to lose because they don't, and they haven't lost all season. If there's a time this team loses, it's against Valencia away at the Estadio Mestalla. I don't know if I said that right, but who cares? I'm predicting a 2-0 win for Valencia. Stamp it. Santi Mina really likes scoring against Barcelona, is actually the highest scorer on this Valencia team against Barcelona, and he'll probably be looking to do that again. Considering Zaza is also on form, he might put one away. This guy is rejuvenated in La Liga. This will be a good game, and I really hope they can keep a clean sheet. And the last game we're going to talk about, Monaco versus PSG. Kylian Mbappe going back home to play against his team. Actually, as a matter of fact, I haven't looked this up, but because he's loaned out, is he allowed to play against Monaco? I don't know. We all know PSG scoring for fun. They just won 7-1 against Celtic. They are scoring goals upon goals upon goals against everyone and anyone they want. And Monaco, who's also been playing fairly well after shipping out a bunch of players. This game is promising to be a good one. I know Monaco will be up for it because they are now technically second fiddle against to PSG, even after being title holders. But PSG is just on a different level. They're a different animal, and I do not want to get into statistics because it's an embarrassment of riches how well this team plays against anyone they play. They don't care who they're playing. They're just way too good. They're way too good. Monaco is good too, but they haven't had the best time in the Champions League this season so far, and they've lost a few games in the league. I mean, they're a good side, don't get me wrong, but they're nowhere near PSG, and I expect PSG to win this one. I just do. I think it'll be 3-1. If Mbappe plays, I think he'll score. If he doesn't, it doesn't matter because you've got Neymar, you've got Cavani, you've got studs in the back, you've got studs in the middle. You can replace Mbappe with Draxler or Di Maria or Pastore or whoever you want. I mean, it's insane, this team, what they have. I mean, if they don't win a treble this season, it's a failed season. It's a failed season if they don't win a treble. And they'll win this game 3-1. Stamp it. Neymar is going to run all over that defense. Thank you once again for coming back to Corner Sports, watching me speak about and ramble on about these sports. Let me know what your score predictions are. Who's your team playing? Are they going to win? Are they going to lose? Are they going to draw? What's going to happen? Let's start a discussion below. Hit that thumbs up button. Go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Shout out to the Tigers.